Guys, when was the last time you saw a tap out t-shirt? This is from like 2009 or something. You'd think I'd be able to afford a t-shirt by now. Anyway, let's dive right into it. We're taking a look at 4 different stocks today. ENN, the 500% mover, 2 lithium stocks, and Qantas, which was an interesting pre-market trading idea that was pointed out in Discord. Let's get right into it. We've got the lithium ETF. We're going to go through Vulcan and PLS first. So let's talk through what happened in the US overnight. We're expecting this potential move down to 76. And of course, that's last night's move. So based on this red day overnight, 2.6%, it's no surprise what's going to happen on match or in the morning for Vulcan. It's going to sell off. Of course it does. And then we pick it up at a good level and we get a day trade parcel and a swing trade parcel. But before I get into that, I just want to highlight that in the US, the futures are really good this morning. It's looking fantastic. We'll open the 5-minute chart here and we'll have a look at it from when the market closed in the US. So around 7 or 8. So it's up a good nearly 1%. So it's just rallying, which is nice. Always good to see. Might have a good day, good green day in the US, which is going to help the lithium ETF. It's going to help the commodities as well. So we have the lithium carbonate pricing. This is the daily chart here. We'll have a look at a different time. This is the chart that I showed you guys for lithium carbonate, expecting it to hold this trend line here. And it is, and it has. And today as well, it rallied almost 5%, which is huge. It's a big day today for lithium. And you guys can see that it's just really nice. In the last 5 days, it's just been trending up and up and up. And then, of course, before those 5 days, it was coming off quite sharply. But we're seeing a nice move to the upside. And hopefully, I'm not going to start making predictions about whether this goes and makes new highs or something like that. The thing I want to focus on is the fact that we bought when the levels made sense, right? So we look at Vulcan. We bought yesterday at 310. Today we bought just after it broke 3.5. And there were a couple of things I want to point out about this trade. So we talked about the possibility that it dips into this buy zone here for the swing trade. It didn't end up getting there. Unfortunately, I would have liked a better position. The sell down was not so strong in the US, so there wasn't some massive capitulation where we could take advantage of that and buy the dip. So Vulcan, again, a few things. We're on 5 days worth of selling with tighter and tighter range on good volumes, strong volumes. So now we're bouncing back on strong volumes and the range has increased and we've gone higher than yesterday's high as well. So it's an interesting day today. It's a very interesting day today. So we're happy that we got the intraday buy. Now, because there's a couple of things here. So one is that I was anticipating a green day today based on the price action. So based on the weak selling in the lithium ETF, I was expecting this sort of level to hold, not to sell off completely, not to retest, or if it did retest $3, then it would bounce quite nicely. This was actually a stronger day than I anticipated. Hitting $3.25 today is definitely stronger than I anticipated, but it's great. It's a good sign. So we ended up with a day trade parcel as it came and pumped through VWAP. It was definitely just a big buy there for me. Just scale in every couple of minutes, just scale. And then as it came back down to VWAP, didn't quite get there, and then started pushing it back to the upside as well. After this move down towards VWAP, couldn't get VWAP unfortunately, but it is what it is. So this trade idea has been in the works for a couple of days now. It's just really nice to see it play out. So the reason I ended up with a day trade parcel is because I didn't want to go full size on the swing, because like I mentioned in the last video, I want to size in as it comes off, if it comes off, because we don't know what tomorrow brings or the day after. So it's still possible that this can go down. It's very unlikely overnight that things are going to go red, but we'll see. We'll see. So I'm really stoked with how Vulcan's looking at the moment, because the whole purpose of short-term swing that I do is to get support levels and hold it for just a few days. I'm not interested if this goes to like $5, $6 in a month or two. I don't care. I'm not here for that. I'm here for the next few days. We'll see what happens at this $3.30 level. You can see there's a bit of a pivot here. That's about 3% away, I think. So yeah, 3.5% away is $3.35. If I had a bigger parcel, I would definitely be taking some off there tomorrow if it gets there. But because I had the day trade parcel, yeah, I probably won't scale out any at this 335 or 330 level. I'll probably let it go for a couple of days and just go day by day. But at this point, this is what I'm seeing, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. PLS as well. We talked about that right at the end of yesterday's video when it looked really fucking good. And it holds support. Beautiful. Beautiful day. Not as good as Vulcan, so bought the dip. Looks really fucking clean. Looks really clean. Yeah, I'm not sure levels wise. Maybe this one's a 660. There's not much in the way between where we are now and 660, 650. So a good little 50 center, hopefully in the next couple of days, day or two. So we'll see how that goes. Now, ENN, this one is interesting. Did I get it? No, but I still want to talk about it because this is very relevant to that trade that we took a loss on for OPT. OTP? OPT. That's the one. It was only a few days ago. This one sold down 97% on match, 97.4%. So a monstrous sell down. It last traded in August of 2024. So wow, 95% sell down or higher, and we've seen two of them in the space of a fucking week. That's insane. We'd never ever see that. Usually you have to wait like a year and a half for this kind of thing to play out. Yeah, it's crazy. What's even crazier and bizarre is if I zoom out here, look at the volumes here. Monstrous buying and selling happening at 2 cents. And then it sells down to 1.5. That is sweaty as fuck. Going from 2 to 1.5 is monstrous, guys. I was not even aware of this stock. I was locked in some other trades, and I don't know how I missed this one. I don't know. It just wasn't on my radar for today at all. By the time it showed up on my radar, I was already at 8 point something, because you guys know what I said. Once it hits 8.4, what's the magic number? It's 10 cents. I mean, it doesn't mean it goes to 8.4, it goes straight to 10. Yeah, okay, there's a bit of a random pullback, whatever. But the point is, once it hits 8.4, it gets to that 10 level. And yeah, it's a sensational move. Volume's very thin, and then it just crumbles under its own weight today. Just a not fantastic, a fascinating stock. I mean, here at the peak, we're trading at about 12 mil market cap. When it opened, we're looking at 3 mil market cap. Now, just to give some perspective of why this sold down, not so much rather why it sold down, but the fact of what it has behind it, and that is assets. $131 million of assets. Now, OPT was cash backed, or has some cash backing, and it's trading below cash backing. So the idea there is that it gets sort of back towards cash backing, but also there's an understanding of how much it's going to burn that cash. So it didn't really bounce so strong. With this, I mean, we got liabilities of 260 mil, assets of 300. We end up with a net net assets of $134 million. And you're paying 3 mil market cap for that. That is fucking wild. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. You know, if this was on my radar, I would definitely have gone into this. I would have been hesitant, 100% would have been hesitant around match after OPT. Not gonna lie, as much as it is my A+ setup to catch something that's down 95% or more, this is, you know, this sell down, that would have freaked me the fuck out, not gonna lie. You know, 2 to 1.5 is huge. But I definitely would have got on the rally, the break above to 3. And then just the one thing I would do in this circumstance, because the book is kind of thin, is maybe just a few thousand shares, 10,000, 15, 30, 50,000, doesn't matter. Even 100K isn't that much here. That's, you know, what, 3 grand? You know, so it's just playing it to the upside, candle by candle, and beautiful, beautiful move. Now, I'm really surprised. I still think the market cap valuation here at 6 mil is fucking insane, ladies and gentlemen. I might have to do a deeper dive, but I decided to start recording after I finished trading for the day. But This is shocking and unusual. We haven't seen anything trade this far below net assets or equity. So I don't know what to tell you guys. I really do think this starts moving to maybe 15-20 cents tomorrow, the day after. This is something I'm going to watch for sure. This is monstrously undervalued, in my opinion. Not financial advice, yada yada yada. You know how this works, boys and girls. So I did read a couple of people mention that it is trading, or it would trade at asset backing or equity backing at 30 cents. And that's probably right. 30. Yeah, I'd have to calculate that. That'd only be about 30 million market cap, I think. So I'd have to look at that. That doesn't sound right. But anyway, it fascinating stock. Didn't touch it. I would love to have touched it. But we are now going to look at this trade idea that was posted in Discord. And that is the ETF for jets, which is airline in the US. So airline stocks. So we'll take a look at Qantas. So it's down 4.6%. And it ends up gapping down 1.47%. And it ends up at the bottom of the day at negative 4.4. So fairly close to the ETF. And just a beautiful range break. Just a clean as fuck range break this morning. My God. And that's all she wrote. And then you got VWAP. Look, it did take some time to puke it, but a beautiful chart nonetheless. Beautiful chart. Look, I'm not a fan. You guys know Qantas is on my blacklist for trading, but yeah, it's still this was an opportunity there. Again, missed it. I had other things on my plate, but this was in like the corner of my my screen, and you could call it a lack of preparation today. I was so locked in on PLS and Vulcan that I think I neglected these other things. I didn't catch ENN, unfortunately. That would have been a monster. And I didn't catch this breakdown on Qantas. Unfortunately, this also could have been a really, really good trade. But at the same time, guys, it's a good day today. Today's a really fucking good day. Regardless of the fact that we missed 2 monster plays, we still ended up with a really good day today. So, yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.